Hello, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 6th. We're already in July. I can't believe it. This week, I think the real message for you this week is that you're gonna have a choice with something, with maybe multiple things for some of you. You have a lot of cards that represent choices, and that was kind of when I was just looking at the cards that popped up in my head was choices, being choosing things. The first card you have is the Three of Diamonds, which is a card of choices. It's a card of having something to choose. It's like, the way to look at threes is it's always like you and two other things. That's why, when it shows up as a Three of Hearts, it can represent choices in love and things like that. It can represent a lot of other things. A lot of you have been asking, how I read my cards and stuff, and it's purely intuitive. I don't like follow any, reading system or, anything like that. I was just, just follow my intuition. That's pretty much it. Like I said, I don't use any real meanings. It's a real reading system. Reading playing cards is something that's a real system out there that, there are meanings attached. And, it's very old before tarot. Playing cards were read as fortunes. But so that's just a side note on like why sometimes my cards have different meanings. It's all, like I said, it's all purely intuitive. They all pretty much go back to the same place, but having said all that, you got this card last week as well, so it can indicate a struggle with finances, feeling left out of finances and things like that. Although I think your finances are getting better, I think you're doing better financially, and all of that. Some of you, it might be a court case. It might be a court case, having to choose something in a court case. Has a legal feel to it, and others of you, it might just simply be a new job, a new position, deciding between two things, or a new business, a new position, deciding between two things. It's an interesting card this week, and that's why I mentioned the intuitive thing, because I'm getting very interesting feelings off of the card. So to say the least, I think you're gonna have an interesting week. And I will say that you are gonna make your decision, by the way. So just know that. Next, you have the Three of Clubs. The Three of Spades, which also represents making a decision. What I love about this card is it represents using your creativity to make that decision. So it's saying that you're more than creative, and it's even got a spiritual feel to it. So you could say using your own intuition to make a decision in whatever you have to this week. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a court case, uh, make the right decision. If it's just something else, like if it's between a job, use your creativity to make the decision. If it has to do with something that's more complicated, you can simplify it and make it easier with the power of this card. Just using your creativity, kind of sitting down, relaxing, thinking it through. That all these things come up with this card. It's a very karmic card, by the way. The Three of Spades is one of the few cards out there that does carry with it some karma. But like I said, it's the thing about this card is it's deciding what you value, like deciding what's important to you, deciding what values you have in life, and that should be what's leading your decision. There you go. There's your answer right there. Deciding what your real values are, what's most important to you. So if you have two decisions, one of them is going to be the decision that really kind of lines up with your values and even your morals, even that deep, that important. Like I said, an interesting week, to say the least. Next, you have the Ten of Spades, which what I think this has to do with is I think you will make the decision. I think this is the ending of the situation. Whatever the situation happens to be, again, if it's a court case, if it's deciding on a job, deciding on a business, deciding on a promotion, deciding on love. That's the problem with this, is it could literally be anything for so many of you. But whatever your major themes are in life right now, in your own personal life, I would say that's what this has to do with. This is the ending of the situation. So it's like you are going to make the decision this week. You are going to figure out what to do. You are going to become creative and find a creative solution to the problems. And everything's going to work out. That's what this card says to me. Like I said, this is like a leaving behind card. It's kind of like the death card in the tarot, not exactly alike, but sometimes when I say that, people take it way too literally, and they think that I mean that it's exactly the same as the death card. It is not exactly the same. It's a lot different, but just to equate it to another card. It kind of represents death in a way. It's kind of like you're leaving something behind and you're starting something new. Or it's also, I think, this situation that's coming up, I think it's allowing you to move on. It's allowing you to move forward. Maybe it's kept you stuck for some time. So that's a great thing to have. You have the Seven of Diamonds coming up next. It's another interesting card. You know, it's a card that asks you to look at all the abundance that you have in your life. You do have a lot of abundance. You have a lot more coming in. I always say that sevens are incomplete. They're not a symmetrical card. They're waiting for another diamond to come in. So sometimes people who get this card are feeling the lack of finances. And, what this card asks you to do is it asks you to think positive. It even looks like a cup. It's kind of like the glass is half full, type of card. It even looks like a cup, and it looks like it's almost half full. It asks you to look at the bright side of life. It tells you that all your limitations are purely mental, and you can also use your creativity to, if you're lacking finances, you can use your creativity to come up with something to make more money. If you are lacking in love, you can use your creativity to go out there and meet some more people. Like I said, this is a great week because it's kind of like a free will week as well. It's like this week is up to you. What I'm getting is you can do whatever you want. You can accomplish whatever you want this week, but it's 100% up to you this week. In my mind, that's an awesome week. So all you have to do is go out and go after whatever it is that you want, and you'll get it. That's what the week is saying. Like I said, it's asking you to focus on the positivity, and more will come in. The great news about 7, and I say this every time that a 7 comes up for somebody, is it always ends positively. You always end up getting that 8. You always end up filling up all the way as long as you focus on the positivity. So again, interesting week. If I had to sum it up, it's use your creativity, and it's kind of like a free will week for you. You're not locked into anything. I think you can make choices and really make some great strides towards whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So enjoy this week.